Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a scrunchie. This is really easy and takes less than like 20 minutes to make if you're using a sewing machine. That's what I'm using today, but if you were doing it by needle and thread, it'd take a little longer, but it's still really easy. But for the sake of this video, we are going to be using a sewing machine. So what you're going to need is some fabric, some elastic, a safety pin, some scissors to cut your fabric, a measuring tape or ruler, whatever you have lying around, and then some pins to pin your fabric in place. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut your fabric to length. This is already cut how I want it, but the measurement that I used is 16 by 4. So if it wasn't cut to length, to size, you would just, run the measuring tape or ruler down the length of it, cut it, mark and cut it where you want it, and then again with the width, just run it down the side of it like this, and then cut where you want it. So the next thing you're going to want to do is, once you have everything cut out, so to every piece of fabric there's a pretty side and an ugly side, or right and wrong. So you're going to want to fold together in half long ways, pretty side together. So like this. So you are left with a thinner, long rectangle like this. Almost like a tube. And then you don't have to do this, but what I like to do is pin along this line right here. Because especially with this type of like satiny material, it is really easy for it to move around while I'm sewing. So I'll just pin a few pins down this line, not a whole bunch, just enough so that I know where I'm going and I don't go like in like a curvy line or whatever. So then once I'm done pinning it, it'll look like this. And then I will place it in my machine. So this is what it looks like after it's placed in my machine. And I'll just sew all along this line right here. So after you're done sewing, you're going to be left with this tube of fabric. And this is where the safety pin comes in handy. So what you're going to want to do is pin the safety pin on one side of the tube. So there's two sides right here. You pick one side and just pin it like this. And then you're going to take the safety pin and put it inside, feed it through the tube. So take the safety pin and move it inside like this, and then you can see that the safety pin is here. It's right there. You're just gonna feed it through the tube, and you'll see that it starts scrunching up like this, and you just pull that so that it gets loose again and you can keep going. So just feed it all along the tube, And once it gets a little scrunchy like this, just tug on that. And what we're doing is pulling this inside out so that the pretty side is on the outside. So pull the safety pin through and then pull that out. And then once it's out here, you just pull it and the pretty side's on the outside. And you have this tube, and this also helps to hide the seam so that it's seamless. Like if you saw on the inside, you have like the ugly parts right here. So then this way, it's just a nice clean tube. And now we can feed in our elastic. So I like to use elastic that fits comfortably around my wrist, because I do wear most of my scrunchies around my wrist. So I just like to make sure that it fits nicely around here. I'll do it a little smaller, so just that the scrunchie looks like a scrunchie. So I'll take this, I'll cut this to size. And again, I did make it a little smaller than my wrist. Hopefully it's not too tight, but it's fine if it is. And then I'm going to do this almost the same thing as I did with turning the tube inside out. I'll pin my safety pin on one end of the elastic like this. And then I will take the safety pin. I'll take the safety pin and then feed it through the tube. So this side's kind of weird. I'll feed it through the tube like this. And you're going to want to make sure that with one hand, you could use another safety pin, but I only have one. But with one hand, just hold the elastic at the other end. The side that doesn't have the safety pin, make sure you hold it here so it's not following the one with the safety pin. So again, just feed the safety pin through, pulling at the fabric, making sure you do not let go of this because it will follow the tube and just come out the other side. So just keep feeding through the safety pin until the elastic comes out on the other side. So you see we have the tube and then two elastic ends. So then take your safety pin out, make sure you don't lose the other side. I almost lost it. Oh no, did I lose it? See, if you do, see I lost it a little bit. If you do, just kind of maneuver the fabric down. It may take a minute, but just be careful and make sure you're not letting go. See, I got it. Okay. So you're left with this. And you're gonna wanna, I a few times just tied the elastic in a knot together like this. Like tied it in a knot like this. But I found that it was like a little bumpy. There was like a little bump you could like feel where I tied it. So I like to sew it down instead of tying it in a knot. So, well actually, I'll just actually do it in a knot for this video. So then I'll tie it in a knot like this so that it is secure. So then you're left with this. So then you will just tuck the knot inside of the tube. And then you're left with these really ugly raw edges. So then tuck those into itself. And then tuck it together. So, yeah. Just like this. Tuck each end into its side of each other. And then just sew right once you've managed to tuck both ends into each other so that the frays are not seen like this, you're gonna want to sew down right here so it's secure. So like this. Sometimes I like to do it by hand, but I'll do it with the machine today. Snip away all the excess thread, and you've got yourself a scrunchie. This one came out a little smaller than I would have liked it, but I have short hair, so it's actually perfect if you want to do like one of those like top knot things. So yeah, that's how you make a scrunchie. I hope this kind of helped. This kind of ran a little longer than I would have liked it, but yeah. Thanks for watching.